How does the #1 player to ever play college football slip so far in the draft to the 3rd round? I'm going to tell you exactly how, but first I do want to say I'm extremely appreciative of the Dolphins organization. Coming off of 3 consecutive Heisman trophies and well over 2,000 yards in my junior season, I thought I'd be extremely high on a lot of teams' draft board. And I was, but there's a long list of unfortunate events that have taken place between the end of my junior season and pre-draft. After I won my 3rd Heisman trophy that very night, me and my family went out, we got together, we had a good time, everything was all good. But then, after we eat dinner, everybody have a good time, it's getting late, my mom, aunties, uncles, everybody kind of dip out. It's just me and my boys and my brother. About an hour later, we head to a bar. We sit down, grab a drink, we chop it up, and then things take a turn for the worse. Now, mind you, my younger brother just turned 21 not too long ago, so he's a very inexperienced drinker. Now, he's loaded. He's feeling himself. He walk around like he own everything. He's not in his right mind at all. I took my eyes off of him for a second just to check my phone. Before I could even look up, a full-blown brawl breaks out. Now I get up, I'm swinging, my homeboy swinging, we going at it. My little brother, he's knocked out on the floor. And just like that, before I could even touch the league, everything had fallen apart. My name is being smeared and the media is painting a very ugly picture. I could have been the #1 pick in the draft, but after that little incident, my draft stock plummeted big time. But nonetheless, I'm here. I got so many doubters to prove wrong. Being an undersized back in college, not being a severely undersized back in the league, yeah, I gotta go crazy. But this entire process has been extremely stressful. Fighting to get into the league, trying to clean up my image, family problems off the field, and a bunch of personal stuff that I really haven't dealt with. For instance, everybody, family included, they blame me for the incident. They feel like I was solely responsible for it all. Like in my mom's eyes, she felt like I was solely responsible for the whole situation. I'm the older brother, I was supposed to take care of it, blah, blah, blah. And between all the pressure from the media, my family, and the league, I developed a slight addiction. I hooked on a bunch of different medications, some prescribed by my doctor and some brought off the streets. I just needed something for my anxiety and to put me in an even headspace. I'm having panic attacks, I'm falling apart, having meltdowns in public. I'm speaking with NFL teams, coaches, and everything just seemed to be moving way too fast. From going from a potentially #1 pick getting a fat rookie contract to basically falling down to the bare minimum, it hurt my soul. But what was a little addiction started to get out of hand. My moods was all over the place. One minute I was happy, I was cool. Next minute I'm snapping on any and everybody. And keep in mind, I didn't tell a soul. I kept this buried deep down within myself, but I knew I was going to self-destruct at some point, so I had to do something. So right before the preseason, I started going to meetings. A little bit of group therapy to help overcome and cope with my addiction and my anxiety. And it helped more than I ever thought it would. Within a couple of weeks, I was off the pills, and that fog that was just filling my brain slowly but surely started to clear. But even though it seemed all my problems off the field started to clear up, everything was getting better, all of my problems on the field were just starting to begin. Bro, this organization tried everything in their power to convert me into a slot receiver. Throughout camp, the entire offseason, everything, they're trying to get me to work out with the receivers, get me to talk to the receiver coach. I'm like, bro, I'm a running back. And to be honest, the only reason I got a shot at being a starting back is because the #1 is down with an injury. But I understand being 5'9", under 190 pounds as a running back in the league is crazy. Now, I understand there's a huge difference between college football and the league, but if you cut on that college tape from JMU or Pitt, bro, I was going crazy no matter my size. When I tell you I was lifting daily, trying to put on as much muscle as possible, just trying to put on as much weight, period, so I can get this opportunity. I worked my way up to be RB #2, but the starting running back went down in a preseason game with an ACL tear, so that made me the automatic go-ahead starter. And so far this season, with the way I'm playing individually, it looks like I'm supposed to be RB1. We started the season off really rocky. Right now, we're just looking for a little bit of stability, but we're going to keep on working. As a team, we got a dominant running back in myself, weapons all across the field, and a pretty decent defense, so expectations are extremely high. We're just about halfway through the season, and we're not meeting expectations at all. Tua has been playing horrible, to say the least. I know this is my rookie year. I barely made it into the league, but I'm hoping by the end of this season, my voice holds some weight so I can give my opinions to this team. Right now, I'm just in the shadows. I'm not saying too much. I'm just putting in the work, but there's some things that definitely need to be said. Like, there's so much inconsistency in our work in terms of our preparation and execution on the field on game day, and I spoke on that right before the game. But just when I thought my voice didn't carry any weight with this team, my little speech I gave before the game fired us up, and we blew Pittsburgh out the water. One thing I can say that the league has over college is they're going to use every tool that you have till it's fullest potential. Kid love playing college football though. The atmosphere, the NIL money, I mean, it doesn't compare to league money, but honestly being a third round pick versus NIL, the NIL is kind of outweighing it a bit. But if I continue to ball like I have within the next couple of seasons, I will definitely have a big boy contract. Just thinking about a contract makes me wonder, what's my longevity going to be like in the league? Am I going to be here for 10, 12 years, or am I going to have a short stint here? Like, even though I have a lot of faith in my ability, can a 5'9" back sustain himself in this league healthy and productive? Like, bro, I've never doubted my ability on the field, but we see prototypical backs come in and out of the league every single year, and it just makes you wonder a little bit. Like, these last few months, I've sat back and really asked myself, what type of career could I have? What kind of career do I want to have? Can I have a career like an Adrian Peterson, come in young, take the league over by storm, deal with a little bit of adversity, then bounce back that 2012 season and win the MVP? Or a career like a Darren Sproles, super undersized, never looked at to be the guy, but has some longevity in the league. Even though I'm extremely blessed and exceptionally gifted as an athlete, sometimes you gotta accept things just take a course of their own. Even though this season we haven't played up to par, we're trying to at least make a push for a wild card game. Dealing with a mild hamstring injury, but I know my production is very important to our team's success, so I don't want to let nobody down. I don't want to let myself down or give up this opportunity. Like, this is the NFL. If I decide to sit out and nurse this injury, my opportunity, my position, my spot can be taken in the blink of an eye. I mean, it's exactly what I did, and who's to say the next guy up won't do the exact same thing to me? A 3-0 win over Cleveland. Nobody touched the end zone at all this entire game. An absolute defensive battle. Being that this is my first real injury playing football, the team docs got me on some painkillers. Now, keep in mind, the team docs don't know I had a little problem with these type of medications before the season. Now, even though my performance on the field is taking a step back in the right direction, if I don't get off these meds immediately, we're going to take a turn in the wrong direction. Now, I'm torn between a big decision. Do I stay on the meds, stay on the field, and continue to ball out? Or do I take care of my mind and my body first, and I sit out for a few weeks and then make my return? I don't know. But I've been balling at an extremely high level, making a name for myself, and I'm not sure I'm ready to put that on pause just yet. Would you believe I'm on the cusp of being the first rookie running back to ever rush for 2,000 yards in a single season? I ain't gonna lie, being off the meds got my production at an all-time high. I just feel good. I feel great. I thought I was gonna be in a slump, but bro, I feel tremendous. Even though a couple of days ago I felt the complete opposite, my mood was all over the place. That's one of the side effects or the downsides of these medications. But if we win next week against the Chargers, I can eclipse 2,000 yards rushing, and we can sneak into the wild card. I can achieve a goal that I didn't even set out in the beginning of the season, because no one expected a rookie to come onto the scene and burst out like this. And with us getting this wild card game, I can get off these meds, sit out, let my body heal, and get back to 100%. So one more week, I got to give it my all before I take my little break and get my body and my mind right, and then we can get straight back to work. We got the Chargers this week in LA, and this is probably one of the most, if not the most important game of our season thus far. To everyone's surprise, including my own, my speed transferred from college to the league perfectly. I'm one of the fastest guys on the field on a week-to-week basis. It's crazy. And even though I give myself the credit for me being great this season, my offensive line has been tremendous, if I'm being honest. Tua hasn't played well at all this season, so I can only imagine how much worse things could be with the pressure of a playoff game. This game was extremely important to us, so we did what we do best. We put the ball on the ground, and they let me do my thing, and we get a blowout win over the Chargers. I sat out the last 4 games of the regular season to get my body and my mind right, and we lose all 4 back to back to back to back. Taking a look at the playoff tree, we got the Patriots in the wild card game. They just beat us a couple of weeks ago, so we got to come with our A game. My first game back in 4 weeks, and we hitting the ground hard, but Tua's going to have to do his part or things could hit the fan. I was wondering whether it was going to be this game or the next. When would I break off my first big run? And I do exactly that late in the first quarter, taking this one all the way back untouched. A low-scoring game here in the third, trying to keep as much momentum going as possible, but I don't think we have enough as a team as a whole to overcome the Pats at home. My rookie season, my first playoff game, and we take a L on the road against the Patriots, and just like I thought, Tua would be our downfall. Taking a look back at it all though, before the season, during, and all the way up until this point, I can say that I am the National Football League's MVP.